era just made most of your business software subscriptions something that you can cancel. And what I want to do is show you how I was able to replace a $1,000 a year subscription and build a better version for my website using HTML with Claude and Claude code. And by the end of this, you're going to understand not just the thinking behind this and how you can do it, but also the step-by-step for how you can build something and get rid of any subscription that you want. And what you're seeing here is the end result of me essentially creating a learning management software inside my own website for my coaching clients. So let's go to the beginning and how in the world we got here. So for the last several years, I've been running my coaching program on Mighty Networks. And within that, I have several courses or curriculum that I have created, both from the world of AI as well as in my former years, I was doing high performance and personal development coaching. So I have a program called Design Your Best Self, which is all around helping you intentionally create the best version of yourself and what you want to do in your life. And you can see here, I've got several playbooks and courses here that are living inside of Mighty. And I was paying, $129 a month with Mighty Networks. And I wanted to get it out of there because I knew with my website and HTML and Claude code, everything is possible. So what I ended up doing was starting here and just creating this prompt, sort of speaking out loud, hey, here's the courses, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm looking to do. And I always start with the plan before the build, right? So in looking at what I had done, I have, let's call it 100 different videos across 3 different programs that I wanted to put into my own website. So how in the world do you do it? How do you make it simple and easy and efficient, as well as premium quality? Because my standard is the highest level. I'm about personal excellence, both for myself as well as my clients. So that's what I was really creating here, was the plan in terms of how I was doing this. And the thing that really was inspiring me was Alex Hormozi, and Dan Martell says the same thing. And it is give away your best stuff. And the AI era certainly has no shortage of information and knowledge. And this is something that has always been the case. And it really becomes around, well, what do you do with the information that you have that is premium? Do you gate it so that nobody else can see it other than paid clients? Or do you give it away to the universe? Irregardless of that answer, I wanted a place that I owned in my world so that I didn't have to be reliant on somebody else's subscription. So I looked at what Alex Hormozi was doing here, and it's like, well, simple. He's got a free advanced training section of his website. Here's his books. You click on any one of them, and here you go. You can just see how he's done this, and then you can see there's a CTA lead magnet for him on the side for anybody who wants to go deeper, because one of the things you realize as a thought leader is there's only going to be a small percentage of people who ever actually do the work, and even a smaller percentage are going to reach out to you. But that being said, you still put that out there because there's authority, there's value, it's part of your brand. So I'm coming from this positioning of, all right, I'm going to take all the things that I've previously created and given just to my clients, and I'm not going to have this live on my website. And I had this build out and ask me questions about the ways that I can do it. And a lot of this is a manual formulaic nature side of things. So for example, I am using Vimeo to host all of my videos. That way I can give it a premium experience. The challenge is there's 154 videos inside this. Not all of them are going to go in my program. So what in the world do you do? Well, I went to Claude, the browser. So I clicked this right here, and it's hiding behind this. I'll move that over here. So, and I just started to co-create with this. And where I actually did this was there was a platform that I'd used before Mighty Networks called Teachery. Shout out to Jason Zook and the Wandering Aimfully community. I love everything that was built in Teachery. And what I ended up having it do was all of my videos lived inside of here. So you could see previously all right, here's each of the modules, here's the video, here's the text. And I had Claude essentially scrape the entire thing and then document it. And we put it all inside this Google Doc here, lesson by lesson. So I created the format that I wanted Claude, the browser plugin, to extract. So I wanted to extract the title. I needed it to pull the video embed from Vimeo. And then I needed it to also include the text content, which was the resources, the action items, the book recommendations, everything in between. And as you can see here, I got 38 pages of this of 103 various lessons. Well, great. I was able to do this last night from my couch at like 8:30 p.m. and let this thing run inside of Claude Code. And before I did the entire batch, what I ended up doing first was just taking one section. So imagine lessons 1 through 8, right? Let me see it just do one batch first, then I'll have it fill in the rest. So that was my thinking, the process behind it. Then comes the design element side of this. So I've already got branding and colors and a website that's on brand and point for me. But one of the things that I'm always doing is taking inspiration from the best in the world. And 2 weeks ago, I saw that Clouse was running this membership summit, actually on recommendation from a friend of mine. And I checked this out and I was like, wow, I really like the vibe of Jay's site, his landing page, how he's doing all of this. I signed up for myself for this thing. And you'll see he had here, it was a 3-day free webinar. And I really liked the way that he did this in terms of, all right, here's the video, restart in this section, take it with you, what we covered, a takeaway, all of that right there. I was like, wow, this is a really clean process. And at any point, if you want the next one, you could just click right here. If you want the next one, you could just click right here. And he even had this little button for Get VIP. And when you click that, you're like, wow, this is nice. So I saw not only the website and the marketing and the design, but the funnel and the flow of how Jay created a website to the webinar with the 3 days and the replays to the, hey, here's the level up for this. So what I ended up doing was taking a screenshot of each of these sections here as inspiration for the design element in the layout, because it was really clean. And one thing I learned the hard way is that right now, Claude doesn't necessarily do a very good job of, if you just give it the link of, hey, copy this design. Sometimes it'll almost like skip or summarize, or sometimes there's the tech element of JavaScript being blocked where you can't see the design elements of something. So one of the things that we know about AI is that it does very well with reference. So let's say I took 6 screenshots, right? So every section that you're seeing, hey, I like this section, I like this section, I like this section, and I like this section, and I want to make this my own, right? My version of this. So what I ended up doing inside of Claude Code was creating a version that looks like this for me. And originally my thought process was, hey, when I run a webinar or some sort of 3-day workshop, I have a template now that I can create for myself. So this is what we were able to build. And up until this point, I'm only doing this from vision and possibility, right? Here comes Fable 5. It can do anything. I was like, all right, let's go. And when I'm building with this, I was using Fable 5 a little bit, but mainly Opus 4.8 because I like to push the boundaries of what's possible. I'm not someone who is going to completely only use one model for certain things. I'm going to play around with the various things. And you can see here, here you go. Don't lose your replay access. Here's the VIP thing. Hey, take this with you, the resource in this section. And what I actually did was I used a case study that I recently had of 3 sessions with someone. And I used that as the baseline for someone going from 0 to 3 sessions later with me and the life-changing transformation that they can have. And I had it then design that around, all right, if I did that as the basis for this webinar so that I had something to go off of for this. Then once I created the version 1.0 of this, and you're like, all right, this looks good. Wow, I can do this in 3 different episodes. I had it create this as a template. So in my mind, one of the things I'm always doing in AI is building for myself first, and then I templatize something because systems scale. And then with that system, I can give it to my clients and or agentic AI to fill in and use moving forward. So all of this is living locally inside my computer or my context folder. So I've got it as reference because this is what I ended up uploading into Claude. And I'll show you that in a second, where in Claude, and one of the ways that I use Claude and Claude Code as a non-technical entrepreneur is that I know some people exclusively live inside of Claude Code, but for me, the way that I taught myself was by using Claude and then going back and forth, taking screenshots of, hey, I'm here, and really putting in my vision of things of what I would like to see. And you can even see here, I give it the vision of the Alex Hormozi free trainings. I've got the courses to really understand how I'm building this thing out. And then from here, you'll see I uploaded the 3 files of the replay template, the version 1.0, in the CSS for it. And here's what I said that really, and let me move this thing over so you can see that, did the prompt of, and the specificity of this is important. So it's like, what I'm looking to create is my own version of what would be in a learning management system, an LMS, that I put on my website using HTML, making it easy for someone to go through and watch the videos, right? Because ultimately for me, this is about experience for my clients or the people that I can serve. And while Mighty Networks served me for a time, I can create a significantly better, more on-brand, personalized experience and have it all in my own world and not have to pay $1,000 a year subscription. So you can see here the level of depth that I use in terms of, hey, let's start with Built for the Game, which is actually called Design Your Best Self. That was some legacy branding. And I gave it the vision of, hey, here's the various sections for this. And what I want to do is build this out in Claude Code, but I want to get our plan created before we do that, right? I don't want it just to go and build. So that's the thing that we did, is understanding, all right, what's the clean, I'll move this over here. What is the clean page architecture, right? Because I'm also thinking about the AEO and or SEO of the way that I'm going to be doing this. The categories, the lessons anatomy, right? It's next level stuff, but when you want to be high level at what you do, you want to understand how to design and build a plan intentionally, because it's going to make the back end significantly better. So that's what we ended up doing right here. And you'll see it gave me an extraction template of what to do. And then once it built this, I made sure to give it reference of, hey, when I was in Teachery, this is what it looked like down below. And here's the example of what it looked like in the top here. And then I ended up pasting in the first section of the 7 high-level videos just to get it going. And what Claude then does for me is write out, hey, here's the exact copy and paste for Claude Code that we can do. It even said, hey, I've got 2 questions for you there. I answered them. And then that's where it gave me the full copy and paste. And this is the way that I do everything in Claude Code. So I just have it and I just, boom, I just copy this. I put it directly inside of Claude Code. And then that thing runs for itself. And that's what I ended up doing. And what this ended up creating was this. So I can walk through this, and this is my own learning management system inside my own website using HTML. And you even see here, after I did the first module of vision, then I was like, all right, and I'll show you this here. Now we can do the full version of it. So I always just take a screenshot and I'm like, hey, here's where we're at right now. And it's like, great, we can preview it. We're good. Let's go. I ran into some issues with Vimeo and the embedding privacy issues, kind of a pain in the butt, but I figured it out after about 5 minutes. Just a little inside baseball there. And then I sort of let it go every step of the way. And then here we go. Let's fix some stuff. And then let's do this on the highest level. And I gave it all of the lessons right here. So start with 6 videos. Then I gave it 76 more lessons. And then I went for a 4-mile run in this rain in Claude code while I was running. And then I came back and boom shakalaka. Here it is. And what I love about this is I was able to design in a CTA for this that's ever present there. I was also able to do this in a way where I can ship this for clients right away. So I love the styling of this. Very simple reminders, right? And I'm very intentional about the ways that I'm doing things. So you can see the way that I design these little call out boxes or reminders. So I definitely made this my own version of it, just being inspired by how Clouse did his and then spinning up my own version. And then there's a lot more that I can go for this because I didn't even create the full free advanced training high level section yet, because I actually built bottom up instead of top down, because I essentially said, hey, let me create my own first version of this. And then once this is built, I can easily build the next level overall. If you want more training from Rob, here's the ways that you can do that, because one of my principles, you're going to see this a lot more, I'm just going to keep sharing and giving and building everything that I'm doing. If you want to grow in the world of AI and personal growth and development, and you want to make your dreams and goals and vision happen faster and better in a human first way, I'm going to give you everything that I got. Those who want to get down with that, you can join us. I share more about what we are doing every single week. Inside Undeniable, you can go to robcressy.com/undeniable. It's our group coaching program where we meet every single Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern, and we co-create and build with AI in real time. And it's where I share the next level, the prompts, the resources, and we can be in conversation more on what this looks like inside of your business. So go to robcressy.com/undeniable. And really, that's the simple. This ended up being flipped around in 48 hours. And the only reason it was 48 hours is because I was doing other business stuff with clients. And I probably estimate that I got all this flipped around in, I don't know, less than 3 hours. But I want to share this with you because here's your action items. Number 1, audit the subscriptions you have for your business. And actually, I'll get off the shared screen here. All right, number 1, audit the subscriptions you have for your current business. Number 2, ask yourself a question. Are there any of these that I am not using at all or lightly using? Let those be the first ones that you either cancel or you say, all right, is the juice worth the squeeze here? Then I want you to look at the ones that you're paying the most amount of money to and then say, hey, could you build a version of this yourself inside Claude and Claude Code, and could Fable 5 do this? And I can almost guarantee you, based on my experience, it can create almost anything. But here's the caveat, and I saw this once and it made me laugh, is if you're using something like HubSpot, and I don't know, let's call it $29 a month or $49 a month, and you're like, oh, I'm just going to go and rebuild my own HubSpot. That's totally easy. Well, it might be better for you just to spend $49 a month on HubSpot or whatever the number is and not have to build it yourself. But in this instance, I used my discernment and said, oh, this is something that I can definitely do for myself. And now I have a legitimate asset for my own business, and this lives inside my world, and I can share this with all my clients inside the Undeniable Studio so they can create a version of this for themselves if they want to. Rinse and repeat across all the AI subscriptions. This is what's happening when you are building like the best in the world with AI. It's not hard, it's just intentional, and it's by design. So I'd love to hear from you. Drop in the comments or hit me up on LinkedIn or Instagram at Rob Cressy. Have you replaced or canceled any subscriptions because of AI? If so, which ones? Why did you do it? And did you end up creating a version of this for yourself inside your world? Sending tons of love and good vibes your way. Here's to having an amazing rest of the day.